It's a very special weekend. It is round 12 of the AT&T Champ Car World Series season, and it's the second leg of the Triple Crown. We're in Pocono Raceway for the 2020 Pepsi 500. We're glad to have you with us. As you can see, 33 cars in pit lane, ready for the formation lap. It is an all-Mercedes front row. It is an all-Striker Motorsports front row. Natalia Kurachenko with her second career pole position, with her teammate Stephanie Portichelli alongside her. Then you have Sakura Ishibashi and Keisha Fox making an all-Alpine row 2. Then about Honda, Christina Espinoza is the highest qualified Honda, sitting in 5th, alongside Gerard Perth with another stellar qualifying performance, putting him in 6th position. The Triple Crown stands for a lot of things. It's very lucrative. It is very difficult to achieve. You think about the tracks involved. Indianapolis, it is a quad oval. All four corners are the same, but how long the straightaways are and the way the wind changes each side of the track really dictates how anything can happen. It's even more severe here in Pocono. 3 corners, 2.5 miles, just like Indianapolis, but all 3 corners are different. All 3 straightaways are different. We've seen races have 7 wide restarts after cautions. This track is a track that brings everything. So extra effort has to go in to setting up these cars, especially for here. So we're looking forward to this one. We see Kurachenko in pole position. Her first pole position came at Texas, so she's getting really good at the super speedway stuff. But can she convert it? We know that Mercedes are good in the straight line speed, but they lack fuel efficiency. How much will that have to say here? It's a different tire than what we're used to seeing. It's a harder compound tire. It's going to make the pit stop window 40 to 45 laps. What is that going to do to the strategy? What is that going to do to the drivers? The drivers have not used this compound before. So there's going to be a bit of an adjustment in the race. They've not done a race simulation at all. Most of the practices they've done in small packs, so they've never simulated a race start. How is the tire wear going to be? How is the heat going to be? All of these are important factors that we'll be learning as the race progresses. And it's super important to note that the championship very well could flip upside down here. Andrew Draco not starting very well. Andrew Draco is starting in almost exactly mid-pack in row 8. His chief rival, Portichelli, starting obviously in the front row in the orange and blue of the car, as you can see, front and center. The gap entering this race was 35 points. There's 50 points maximum on offer, or 53 points maximum on offer. Portichelli can easily make all that up and then some if Andrew Draco is stuck in the midfield most of the day or gets caught up in an early race accident. But what about Isabel Espinoza? Didn't have the greatest qualifying, but she's the only driver that has more than 1 win this season. So we'll have to keep an eye on the number 36 car, which is going to be blue and white this time, to see how she performs. So the weather is, as you can imagine, fairly calm, fairly tame. Winds are about 6 miles an hour, so that will have an effect, especially going into turn 2, the sharpest corner on the track. But it's not as hot as we were expecting. It's close to the 90s. It's 85 degrees. We were expecting temperatures approaching 94, 95 degrees. So it's significantly cooler. Cars were expecting to have to put more downforce in. So the first round of pit stops may be earlier as we try to dial in.
Drivers, start them engines!
As you hear the command to start the engines. We are about to go green. We're going to start the formation lap here, led by the Chevrolet Camaro pace car. We're on our way to watching a 500-mile race unfold. So, some key things to look out for. So, it was announced this weekend that Kaylee Zappa is joining Swift Autosport in 2021. She's with Cat Devil Racing now. She's starting deep in mid-pack. She's starting close to Diego Jaramillo and Akira Sato. She's joining Swift Autosport next year. Now, where does that put Brad Neri? We're not sure. So Brad Neri's got to try to prove himself. Brad Neri's back there as well. You see the yellow, black, and white. A lot going on as far as that goes. Venom Motorsports announced a new sponsorship deal beginning next year with Rockstar Energy. So some of the changes that we were expecting to see have started to fall into place. Kaylee Zappa leaving Cat Devil Racing, we knew that. Now she's going to Swift Autosport, staying with Honda. But she is definitely going to try to get out of where she's at right now. Esther Hobson starting alongside her. This is her worst qualifying start to date. We said this at Belial, and she ended up leading laps. So what has Esther Hobson got to say, and can she charge? You see BK Glover in the yellow and blue. His first race back since his accident at Indianapolis. The same goes for Mildred Moon. Her first race back since Indianapolis from injury. Glad to see both of them return, both of them sitting mid to low pack. But it's their first race back, and they've got a lot of learning to do. Pace cars coming out of turn 3 and pulling off to head towards pit lane. It's going to be Kurichenko Portichelli on the front row to lead us to green, and we are racing in Pocono. See already 3 wide, Nicole Lecty making a move on Isabel Espinoza. Kurichenko's going to clear her teammate going into turn 1. It's Kurichenko, then Ishibashi. Christina Espinoza trying to make a move. You see Hazel Lacasse, who started 7th. She's already battling inside the top 5. There's going to be a lot of movement going on in this one. Right now, Kurichenko looking set to try to lead the first lap of the race. Espinoza's going to have a look at the inside, but it will be Kurichenko that leads lap 1. See everyone trying to sort themselves out. Christina Espinoza's going to make a move for the lead here. Hazel Lacasse got shuffled to the outside by her teammate, Sakura Ishibashi. Then you see Kimitsu Kenosha, 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner. And Tyler Parker, who started 10th, has had a very rough couple races. But when it comes to these ovals, he absolutely shines. Lucien Lachapelle also sitting up in the top 10 as well. Now it's going to be a battle between Espinoza and Kenosha. David Wessel's also making some moves. You can see the gold and black car, 4th in line at the top. It's Espinoza, Kenosha, Parker. Parker's going to make a move on Kenosha. Parker moved first. Kenosha, now she's pinned in, going into turn 2. The mayhem ensues for the first few laps as everyone tries to feel their way around. Tires get up to temperature. Everyone starts dialing in. Qualifying yesterday was a very cloudy affair, a very cool affair. That's not the case now, so setups are definitely not going to be in tune to where they need to be. But it's going to be Tyler Parker that led that lap. He nosed ahead. And Kurichenko's back at it. There's Simona Leroux in the 78, right behind Kurichenko in the blue and white. Then you have Nicole Lecty and Syria Lundquist, her first race back in Pocono. Lundquist is very familiar with Pocono. She raced in Champ Car before, but her first race back at Pocono in 5 years. Be interesting to see how she performs. She's already doing well. She's started outside, almost in the lower half of the field. So she's already made up a bunch of spots. I believe 13 spots is what she's made up so far. Kurichenko back to the lead, but it's temporary because Simona Leroux is going to try to lead Highlight Racing to the front. A lot of moving around going on. Portichelli's already almost out of the top 10 completely. LaRoe will clear. But now it's on Siri Lundqvist to try to make something happen here. LaRoe will lead her first lap of Pocono. Then it's Kurichenko, Lundqvist, and Christine Espinoza, top 4. Black Rose Racing teammates Jace Clark and Nicole Leckley were side by side entering turn 1. Keisha Fox for Cherokee GP also sitting in the top 10, both Cherokee GP cars making serious moves. Keisha Fox got shuffled back on the start, but she's almost back to where she started. And she's in company. She's got Stephanie Porter-Kelly right behind her. Lundqvist took a little bit longer to get past Kurichenko. But she's carrying the momentum. Now she's on the inside of LaRoe. Jace Clark moves to the high side. Now it's teammates on the bottom. Clark's going to move back to the bottom. Stay in between them. Lundqvist will take the lead, but can she hold it? Doesn't look like it. Jace Clark immediately. He uses the aerodynamics of that front wing. The chop below. So Jace Clark's going to try to inherit the lead here. Keisha Fox behind him. And Keisha Fox is going to make a lunge for it. So 2 passes for the lead in 1 lap. Keisha Fox comes out with the lead. And all 33 cars still in this pack. Coming out of turn 1, you see that massive pack of cars as they go by. Isabel Espinoza, we talked about her starting further in the field. She's up to 3rd. And you see how the cars unload out of turn 2 as Porter-Kelly is back to the front. Cameron Jackson's in the mix as well, as is Ray Taylor. A lot of jockeying for positions. Indianapolis saw the most lead changes of the season at 52. We're already working on trying to beat that now. Top 3 are single file. It is Porter-Kelly, Fox, and Isabel Espinoza. Fox trying to go back for the lead. She'll do so in turn 3. As you can see, a passing zone is pretty much wherever you want it to be if you are brave enough to make it happen. Keisha Fox back to the point. And Cherokee GP trying to make the most of the situation. They had a double DNF, their first double DNF at Belle Isle. Keisha Fox retiring due to crash damage from the opening lap, and Siri Lundqvist losing an engine about halfway into the race 2 weeks ago. Behind Keisha Fox, though, it's 2x2. Ray Taylor's trying to make a move. He has not been to victory lane since Phillip Island at the beginning of the season. He's not going to lead this lap. It's going to stay Keisha Fox. But he's in a great position to take it going into turn 1. And again, as you can see, all 33. Super close. One of the most competitive fields we've seen in quite some time. 10 different winners in 11 races. Definitely puts on a show. Ray Taylor tried to make a move to the inside. And it's going to be Sakura Shibashi taking the lead out of turn 3. So this will be her first lap led all race. And Siri Lundqvist leading that bottom lane at the moment. Looks like it's 3 wide. Indeed, it is 3 wide. That is Andrew Draco, Jace Clark. And it looks like that is Kaylee Zappa. So Kaylee Zappa definitely made up some positions. But Andrew Draco's coming up from 17th. Ray Taylor's once again trying to retake the lead here. An amazing run through turn 3. Not going to get to Ishibashi this time. Seems like the Alpine cars have a better run coming out of turn 3 because Keisha Fox did the exact same thing. Tyler Parker trying to take third away from Stewie Lundqvist. And then it's Andrew Draco moving his way into the top 5. A lot of shuffling getting everything started. You see just further back in the midfield, Asher Crane started 23rd. Looks like she's fighting her way into the top half of the field. Looks like that is for 14th position. Ray Taylor's going to get himself a lap lead. He'll lead lap 13. Starting to become more single file as the tires begin to wear. As I spoke about at the beginning of the broadcast, 40 to 45 laps is the expected race window. That is subject to change. The conditions we're seeing today are not the same as what we saw in practice and qualifying, so that window could definitely be adjusted. See, Lucian Lachapelle's already dropped all the way back to last. He did start 12th. Gerard Perth started 6th, and he's back just ahead of 30th place. A lot of jockeying going on further in the mid-pack here. David Russell's ended up back there as well, same as Hazel Lacasse. Isabel Espinosa's back down here as well. So a lot going on as all the drivers stuck on the outside lane just have nowhere to go. See Esther Hofson battling with Isabel Espinosa behind Mildred Moon. Diego Jaramillo trying to make his way up. Then there's Anastasius von Sonen. BK Glover making a move there on Cameron Jackson. Both of them behind Jace Clark. There you see Asher Crane battling with Kaylee Zappa. Brad Neri ahead of both of them. So Brad Neri hanging onto the back of Kenoshita, keeping himself afloat. Showed a bit of finesse at Belle Isle, almost at a top 10, his first top 10 in his career in Champ Car. But Brad Neri missed out by one position to Natalia Kurachenko. Right now he's in great company, and it's going to be a struggle. Thomas Rogers now sitting in last place. See, teammates, at least for the rest of the season. See both the Cherokee cars stuck on the outside line. Lundqvist battling with Nicole Lechty. See Ray Taylor led that last lap, but he's already shuffled all the way back down to 5th. But now it's going to be Simona Luro trying to make a move. Mercedes on Mercedes power. Leroux should have the edge here. She does. Leroux back on top. Then it's Christina Espinosa sitting in 3rd. Tyler Parker in 4th. Tyler Parker showing he is a force to be reckoned with. He is a free agent right now. No idea where he's going to sit next year. Team Impulse has not said a word. Nicole Lechty staying hot on the gearbox of Tyler Parker there. Steady Porter Kelly staying in the top 6 as well. Espinosa making that top lane work quite well for her. She's going to stay clear of Parker. And Parker just has to slot in behind. Same with Lechty and Porter Kelly. Somehow the Cherokee GP cars both moved to the inside line. They were just to the outside line a lap ago. Now Tyler Parker's going to try to make a move going into the tunnel turn of turn 2. Porter Kelly's going to help. A lot of movement going on so far in this race. Porter-Kelly going from third all the way up to the lead. What a move. Absolutely blasting it through turn 3. Porter-Kelly to the front. Siri Lindquist did the same thing. She moved from 5th to 3rd. Tyler Parker going to try to take that back. There is no Alpine alliance here. Cherokee GP and Team Impulse not working together at all. The war has begun. 4 teams in the top 4. Cherokee GP sitting 4th and 5th. Kelly Zappa started all the way back in 25th position. And she is now sitting 7th. Almost 20 spots gained in 20 laps. That is impressive. Tyler Parker did lead that lap, but he's probably not going to hang on to it for more than 1 lap. Christina Espinosa's down to the inside, and we know that she can carry momentum through turn 3. Turns 2, however, they're going to sit side by side. And that inside line is starting to work extremely well. Kaylee Zappa's up to 3rd. Espinosa back to the lead, then it is Keisha Fox, Kaylee Zappa, then Tyler Parker and Nicole Lechty. Porter-Kelly just fed Lechty a dummy to try to retake 5th. Let Lechty slide in front of her and then took the inside. Clever move by the 2016 world champion. Keisha Fox really trying to regain the lead and hold on to it for just a little bit. Kaylee Zappa has been on an absolute tear. Kaylee Zappa's going to look to the inside. She's going to pull alongside going onto the front straightaway, but it's not going to be enough to lead this time. That's going to give Keisha Fox that lap. Kaylee Zappa, however, is going to take it out of turn 1. This race has been moving very, very fast. A lot faster than we anticipated. 209 miles an hour is the average race speed right now. Tires will begin to cliff about lap 28, lap 29. But this is going to be a run to the fuel runs out. And when that fuel runs out depends on how hard everyone's pushing. There's 8 adjustments that can be made in a champ car regarding fuel. Mix 1 being you're using full power, and Mix 8 means you're saving the most fuel. Obviously, you can change between the mixes however much you want. If you're in traffic or you're in the pack, like people in the back may be, they may be able to save more fuel, which in turn makes a pit stop shorter. Or, if they, especially at the end of the race, it could be the difference between possibly winning the race or possibly ended up finishing 20th or lower. Sylvia Lindquist takes the lead there. Cameron Jackson, however, is going to take it away. 19 car has been back to front twice. You're going to see that a lot before this first round of pit stops. Cameron Jackson stays on that bottom lane. Now he moves up. Then we have much of a choice. It was either that or risk getting tagged. So Simone LaRoe is going to be back to the front. Highlight Racing looking super phenomenal right now. Simone LaRoe has not played around. She's back to the lead once again. She has the most laps led so far out of 25. We are an 1/8 of the way through already, and we're almost to a 210 mile an hour average speed. When people wonder what's the average speed mean, that is how quick it takes for drivers for the race to get to its race distance. Cameron Jackson Looks like he just scraped the wall with the right rear. So that's going to cost him a little bit of time entering turn 3. Andrew Draco's already up from top 2. And so is Asher Crane. Asher Crane's got 1 Champ Car win to a record, 2018 St. Pete. That team has only run 1 other race this season, and that was Indianapolis. But Asher Crane's showing she's got some pace here, battling for the lead well into a tire run. So that team's got something figured out, and we are still 33 under a blanket. And Cody Blackman, that last lap is the last car in the field, and he's still within 3 seconds of the race leader. And caution has come out, and that is a huge crash. Akira Sato, David Wessel, and Kenosha is involved as well. So the caution's out for the first time. And we'll make sure that everyone's okay. It looks like everyone should be okay, though it looks like Sato definitely got airborne. Sato's still running, though. So it's only David Wessel that has issues. Kenosha's made it back to pit lane. David Wessel, not sure what he's trying to do. But his day is over. On lap 28. So we're going to take a look at it. This is in the very back of the grid. Akira Sato making a move, and he just tags him. That is a huge crash. Surprised that went as well as it did. He absolutely sent it going into turn 3. Kenosha was already committed. And that is an absolute that is such an airtime. Up and over goes the car. It lands on its wheels and he drives it away. All 3 cars drove it away. What an absolute send. That is the second time that Kenosha's been taken out by a teammate in this race. We'll see if we can get an onboard of that. We know that pit stops are coming, and pit stops are pretty vital. We get a better look at that. Knowing that all 3 drivers are okay. Here's the send. And that was such an airborne crash. And you see, he gets it going. See, David Wilson trying to keep it off the track. He knows his car is not making it. So it looks like they're all coming out of pit lane now. So where does that put everyone? It's a good question. Kenosha's back out. Now, obviously, she's going to come back into pit lane, it looks like. Because that car is all sorts of messed up. But David Wessel, we know, is out of this race. Mildred Moon's out as well. Is Kenosha, for the second race in a row, going to try to limp around with damage? She's going to pull it in. That is a lot of damage. So she's going to pull it in the pit lane. Mildred Moon was involved in something. But Tyler Parker's inherited the race lead. BK Glover is last of the cars in the chain, it looks like. They are working on that car. They're going to try to keep Kenosha out. It is not BK Glover's near the back of the field, but it is Patrick Marcelli that is last of the cars that are on track and on the lead lap. That is 29th. Now, for Kenosha, Kenosha's team is particularly notorious for this. We saw this back in 2016. She's notorious for limping the car around in the efforts of getting as many points as possible. She is very much a point scavenger. She's almost got a doctor's degree in making the most points out of it. Just disappointing that for the second race in a row, she's taken out by a teammate. And that was absolutely a sin. They're still working on that right side of Kenosha's car. So we have another lap of caution, so we're gonna go back a couple laps here. Actually, there's Mildred Moon right there. Mildred Moon's limping around. Something has happened to Moon's car. It doesn't look like she's got damage. Oh, she did. She got tagged by Marcelli. Marcelli lost brakes. Marcelli lost brakes. So Mildred Moon's day's done because Marcelli didn't check up in time. Well, that's what happened to Mildred Moon. Lights are out on the pace car, however, which means we are about to go back to racing conditions. Kenosha back up and running. Looks like they've done a bit of repairs to the side pod. They've worked to repair as much of that car as they possibly can. The front wing looks better, but isn't enough. She's running at a limited speed. We don't think that's the full speed that she's running right now. She's only in 5th gear. We think she's running a limited speed because she's catching up to the pack. Here, yep, there she is. But we'll have to keep an eye on exactly how well Kenosha's car holds up, because that was a blistering pace. 210 miles an hour was the average race speed up until the caution. But unfortunately, the days for Mildred Moon, David Wessel, and Akira Sato are done. Kenosha's one lap down already, so she's going to be at the back of the field. 29 cars left on the lead lap, 30 cars total running. And it is a double file restart. So here we go. And we're back to green. Tyler Parker's leading it. See, Kenosha definitely not on pace. She's definitely not trying to be in anyone's way. See, Kenosha trying to stay out of the way. He's holding her line. Now she's probably going to move to the top line here. Neri had a chance to make something happen, and he didn't. There we go. Bit missed time. But now she's to the top of the racetrack, which is going to be a lot safer for everyone to get by. So, crisis averted for the 18 car. Someone's going to navigate her relatively easily. Hazel DeCass is in the pit lane for some sort of issue. The race winner from Toronto, having her Pocono, her Pepsi 500 race. It looks like there was a puff of smoke, so that could be a different issue. Marcelli also having trouble. So this restart has been crazy for one reason or another. And it's Keisha Fox leading. It's Keisha Fox, followed by Christina Espinoza and Natalia Kurchenko, the pole sitter for this race, back up to third. Then you have Simona LaRoe, and that inside line is super productive. Keisha Fox can't help but drop 2 spots on literally a dime. Simona LaRoe is going to take third away, then it's Tyler Parker taking fourth away from Keisha Fox as she slides down the order. Kurchenko took the lead away from Christina Espinoza. Now Espinoza is going to suffer the same treatment, and it's going to be 3 wide into the tunnel turn. 3 wide, now it's getting crazy. Tyler Parker made it work, and there's Rachel Coivanami. Her first race back to Indianapolis. She decided to sit out the rest of the season, except for the Triple Crown races, to focus on helping highlight with driver development. Wait, there's Hazel DeCass coming up. And everyone's going to navigate her. So whatever her issue was, she's got it sorted. And roughly everyone got by. Marcelli's in the pit lane as well. He was involved in the accident that took out Midred Moon. Tyler Parker made an amazing charge, trying to get the second, but he's not going to hold it. Simona LaRoe's got the preferred line going into turn 1. Christina Espinoza is going to try to make it 3 wide. Can't make it stick. Just a fraction off. And we are getting reports that Hazel Cass's issue was because of Patrick Marcelli. Not sure exactly what kind of contact it was, but it is the reason why. Coivanami's very feisty right now. Highlight Racing could very well be in contention to make a 1-2 happen if they hold this for the rest of the race. This front pack is super racy right now. And we know that they're coming up on Kenosha. Kurchenko's still leading. Then it is Simona LaRoe, and then it looks like it's going to be a battle for third between Tyler Parker and Rachel Coivanami. And it is going to be almost a 3 wide. It is 3 wide. Cameron Jackson making it work. The pack is coming back together. You see Astrid Crane in the orange and white. Number 80 car for Raspberries Racing. She's battling with Brad Neary with Swift Autosport. Simona LaRoe to the point. Cameron Jackson looking for second. Looking for redemption after what happened at Belle Isle. And it's Kurchenko. Kurchenko's going to try to take second place back. Honda looking extra racy. Alpine's looking extra racy. This is nothing like what Indianapolis was. Estimated pit window, if it stays green, is going to be about lap 62 to 67. Are we going to get there under green? That is the biggest question. Kurachenko with an absolute sail. She's not going to take this lap. That is Patrick Marcelli. I said that it was Kenosha, and it's not. It's Marcelli who came out of the pit lane. Kurachenko gets back to the lead. It's a Mercedes 1-2-3 with Jace Clark carrying the Black Rose Racing banner up to the podium spots. Then it's the fourth place for Mercedes as well, because that's Rachel Coivanami. And then you see Kaylee Zappa, Siri Lundquist. Brad Nary's up to the top 10, so is Cameron Jackson. And now we've got a big pack forming. Keeping our eyes on this main pack, it is not slowing down at all. Marcelli's not extremely slow given how he's off the pace and he has no draft. They have not caught him as fast as people were expecting it to. That said, we are about to see something happen. But they're letting him say because he's not terribly off pace, not on his own. So an expected standard for pace when you're on your own. Now it's just, can he be passed cleanly? It looks like they're going to give it a shot. They're going to move to the inside. Marcelli stays high. A smart move from a veteran driver in Marcelli. Fortunately, this race is a loss for him, as much of the season has been. Terrible luck for the 82 car. Lundquist will take advantage and keep Jace Clark at bay. It's still Natalia Kurachenko on the point. Then it is Rachel Coivanami, who had a podium at Homestead. Then Kaylee Zappa. And then behind her is Brad Nary, driving for the team that Zappa will be driving for next year. We know that. That is official. And it is 3 wide for second. Nary trying to make something happen, trying to prove himself. You see the massive clump of cars. Just saying, almost 4 wide. Esther Hofson trying to make something happen for Eastern Atlantic Motorsports. She's been the anchor of that team all season long. And she's up here in the blue and white at the very right-hand side of your screen. Right behind Suri Lundquist in the orange and blue. And that looks like that might have been an issue. Potentially, no. We're good. See, everyone's navigating past Patrick Marcelli. Marcelli's not lost anybody. He's just stayed at the up and high lane. So he could be okay. We can see why they let Marcelli stay on track. Most of this field is here. Brad Nary making a move for the race lead for the first time. He's trying to lead the first lap of his career. And it's 3 wide behind him. That is Tyler Parker trying to make the inside work. He does. He takes second, but Brad Nary's going to keep the lead out of turn 3. And lap 46. The first lap led for Brad Nary in his Champ Car career. It's all about the small moments sometimes. For Brad Nary, he's needed them. For that team, it's been a much welcomed small moment. Tyler Parker takes the lead out of turn 1. Esther Hofson is up to 4th. See her to the inside of Cameron Jackson. She's trying to take third away. You see Kenosha falling within the clutches of Tyler Parker. Luckily, they're going to catch her largely out of turn 3, and she's going to be on the high side, so they've made it super easy. But now, people that are on the high lane are going to have to try to move as quickly as they can to the bottom. And it is 3 wide. Luckily, that cleared up before it got any worse. That was about to look very disastrous. So Brad Neri gets by, but that mixes up the field quite significantly. That is Tyler Parker leading. Then it's Esther Hofson, Gerard Perth, who had a podium back in Belle Isle. Then Suri Lundquist, Rachel Koivanami, and Isabel Espinoza. We haven't said her name in a few laps. But she shuffled her way up to the top 6. Then it's Cameron Jackson, Diego Jaramillo. We haven't said his lap. We haven't said his name in quite a bit. He's up in 8th, then it is Anastasius von Sonen. Von Sonen up to 9th. For Kiernia Frashida Dryforce. Hofson looking for the lead. As you take a look at the pace car, a little bit of a technical bug there, but Hofson takes the lead. So now it's Hofson, Parker, then it's Koivanami and Perth. Isabel Espinoza trying to lead the first time. She has not led a lap yet in this race. Neither has Rachel Koivanami. Neri's already back up to the top 10. Isabel Espinoza is going to sail into turn 3. She will lead her first lap of the Pepsi 500 on lap 50. We are a quarter of the way through this race already. We are about 10 to 15 laps away from green flag pit stops. Gerard Perth's going to try to battle it back. You see Espinoza on a Honda, Perth and Koivanami both in a Mercedes engine. And Lundquist sitting in 4th. She's been in the top 5 almost all race long. She's sitting with Alpine. So a lot of manufacturer competition, for lack of a better term. Jaramillo's up to 5th. Despite the Cat Devil Racing blunder that took Akira Sato out and has essentially made Kenosha a sitting duck, 3 of the 5 that are left are still going for it. Well, the yellow was on lap 21. So it'll be about 40 laps when we get to lap 60. Which does line up with the pit window. If my math's correct, it'll be about laps 62 to 67. Gerard Perth's going to lead this lap. He led the last one as well. Siri Lundquist staying on his tail. Then it is Diego Jaramillo in the 16 car. No idea where he's going next year. Surely a driver that's won 4 Champ Car races deserves a bit more than just a Triple Crown ride. But where does he go? He's battling with Koivanami. Then there's Thomas Rogers, another 2-time Champ Car race winner. Where does he go? Then you have Esther Hofson and Natalia Kurachenko. Isabel Espinoza dropped like a rock. She's already almost outside of the top 10. Von Sonen's earning his keep, staying in the top 10. Then you have Lekti, Ishibashi, Neri, Chase Clark, Christina Espinoza, Cameron Jackson. Then it's a 3 wide behind him, Porter Kelly, Fox, and Draco. And Draco's going to sail. Then there's LaChapelle, his first ever oval race. A lot of experience there. There looks like there might be something wrong with Cameron Jackson's car. Because he is extremely slow all of a sudden. We're not understanding why. Looks like they might be trying to figure it out, but he's sitting right in front of Ray Taylor. Hopefully they figure out what's going on with Cameron Jackson's car before he loses too much time. Because he has fallen behind way too fast. That could be an engine about to go. Looking back up to the front, Siri Lundqvist led that lap. She's got a decent margin over Esther Hofson. But again, with how aerodynamic these cars are, you see how streamlined the design is. It's made to make these types of moves happen. Esther Hofson closed up the gap in a hurry. She's going to look to the inside, and she's going to try to make it stick, and she will make it stick. Hofson back to the point. This time on merit, not any pit stop trickery like what we saw in Belle Isle. Look at Von Sonnen in the 76, the black, red, and green. Von Sonnen's never led a lap in Champ Car competition. This could be his first coming up soon. He's on the dominant line. See that Castro car, third in line on the bottom. A very racy and competitive race so far. Nicole Lechty's moved up. Haramia's back to the front. Von Sonnen leading the inside line now. Sonnen's going to dip into the top lane for the draft, right in front of Nicole Lechty. So that's third for Sonnen. It's Hofson, Kurachenko, Von Sonnen. Then it's Lechty, Lundqvist. Kurachenko's going to try to make a move. Sonnen couldn't do anything. He had too much momentum, but it might work. He carried it through turn 2. He's not going to get anywhere through turns 3. Jaramillo, however, going to sail into turn 3 underneath of Von Sonnen to move into the top 5. Lap 57 now in the books. Von Sonnen moves to the inside, tries to. Jace Clark's there. And Jace Clark lets him in. Still some chivalry between rookies. Hofson's been dispatched. Then so is Kurachenko. Lechty now on point. It's Jaramillo battling with Kurachenko for second. See them coming off of turn 2. How that banking unloads is unreal in such a short amount of time. Kurachenko's dropping all the way back, almost outside of the top 5. Nicole Lechty leading her first laps in several races. Then it's Jaramillo and Koivuniemen. That's the top 3, and beyond that, pick your favorite driver, because they are 2 by 2 all the way through. Those watching at home, who you got leading next? Just about everyone's getting a chance at this race lead. Jaramillo's going to go for it, and he's going to take it as easy as you'd like. Diego Jaramillo now leading. Lechty doesn't even get to hold second. She's already down to third, and now she's battling her teammate. Just try to stay on the podium. It's going to be a futile battle. Jace Clark's going to take it away, but she's got a gap. It's a very scrappy battle. We are on lap 60. Diego Jaramillo leading. The leaderboard hasn't even been able to just scroll because everyone's positions are changing at a rapid pace. We'll look at the back of the field. Cameron Jackson's now a lap down. He went to pit lane. We're assuming it was a tire issue. Kenosha's 2 laps down. Lacasse 3 laps down. So is Patrick Marcelli. 30 cars are left running. Cody Blackman and BK Glover are 17 and 18 seconds off the lead. So they're going to need a caution or an undercut to make this work. But as you can see, for the most part, it is 21 drivers in this Super Pack, 22 drivers in the Super Pack. Astro Crane looks like she's lost a bit of time. Try to take a look at it. Yeah, there's Astro Crane. She's lost the draft. So is Ray Taylor. But there's the race lead once again. It's Tyler Parker, then Hobson's back to second, then it's Lundqvist and Koivuniemen. This race is keeping everyone on their toes, that is for sure. Normally these races have a little bit of dead time, so I can try to fill the air. No, it's just all about keeping up with who's going to which position each lap. Kenosha's next on the chopping block. This is to put her 3 laps down. This will get very dicey. We know the pit stops are oncoming. It's just a matter of when. No one's blinked yet. So we're getting close to the 67 lap marker. And that sail by Esther Hobson and Anastasia Sponsonen. And you see Hobson making a move early, so does Von Sonen. Keeping Kenosha up on the high lane. She is going to stay high through turn 1. Safest bet right now. Lap drivers, although it's super difficult. Brad Neri's making it 3 wide. There he goes. He gets room. Thomas Rogers being gracious enough to make it happen. Von Sonen leaping for the lead. He knows he can't face any challenges if he goes for it now. He knows there's a little bit of space, and he's going to take advantage of it. Von Sonen to the point out of turn 3. This will be his first ever lap lead in Champ Car competition. This is a race where everyone's got a shot. Von Sonen on the point, then it's Hobson, then it's a 3 wide between Ishibashi, Clark, and Koivuniemen. They are getting really bold. Hobson's going to try to take it back. Going into turn 2, the tunnel turn. It's called the tunnel turn because that is how all of the teams enter the track. There's a tunnel underneath that corner, which is why it's banked as sharp as it is. Sharpest banking on this track. So Von Sonen led a lap, now it's back to Hobson. Andrew Draco, championship leader right now. Sitting in third, trying to take second place away, trying to make his way to the front. Von Sonen stays clear. This is a race where the underdogs could pull away with something. We saw it happen in Indianapolis with Sebastian Devereaux. It very well could happen again here. Draco quite firmly in third. Von Sonen's wanting the piece of the lead again. No struggle there. Von Sonen's going to lead another. What a run. And Draco behind, but it's Von Sonen on point for the second time this race. Jace Clark sitting in third. Then you have Thomas Rogers. He's got a streak to uphold. Every season that he's raced, he has won a race. He's only got a handful of opportunities. Jace Clark trying to bait Draco into an early move. It didn't work. Draco's too smart for that, the 2017 world champion. Von Sonen, not slow off the top line. Draco will still take it, but a little bit of pace on the top line for Von Sonen. Some defensive maneuvers. Almost a 3 wide for third. Keisha Fox thought better of it. Still an ultra-competitive race. Pit stops still have not happened. So that caution might have helped as far as fuel mileage goes. But these drivers do not look like they're slowing down at all. Sakura Ishibashi trying to get her first lap led. Keisha Fox trying to make something happen really late, but Ishibashi covers it up enough. Stephanie Porter-Kelly takes third away from Andrew Draco, slots up in the top lane. Brad Neri sitting on the bottom lane after Keisha Fox. And Porter-Kelly lets Draco have the bottom. So Ishibashi's led. Porter-Kelly's led. Draco is led. Brad Neri has led. I believe Brad Neri's led. I don't know. Has he led? There's so many people that have led laps so far this race. I've lost track. Looking at my notes, I don't believe he has. Looks like he has not. So he's getting close. But Draco leads that lap. Then it is Neri, then Keisha Fox. Looking at Brad Neri now as Ishibashi tries to make it 3 wide and will do so. Got suckered into it by Jace Clark and Keisha Fox. Clark on the bottom in that red number 7. Isabel Espinoza. Back to the front. She's been back and forth about as much as anybody. Brad Neri looking at inside turn 3. Not a challenge. Brad Neri exits turn 3 as the race leader. He'll cross the line the same. So now he is led at Pocono. That much we do know. There is not a driver in the top 10 across the line that time that has not led a lap at least here at Pocono. Jace Clark took second away from Andrew Draco. Draco trying to get it back. Von Sonnen right on the gearbox. For a brief pause right now, well, up until Jace Clark, it was a Honda majority. Jace Clark, however, is going to take the most important spot. Clark to the point. This will be his second time leading. Von Sonnen looking for third. That looks super dicey up here, but looks like there was more space than what there actually looked like. Von Sonnen and Neri made it work. And they're going to put the championship leader on the back foot. They're going to try to go for the lead as well. Neri staying to the inside. Clark trying to block it off. It couldn't work. A very late reaction by Jace Clark means that Brad Neri is going to re-inherit the lead. Von Sonnen's coming in. Pit stops are beginning. Looks like pit stop started a lap ago. The lead pack that we're looking at right now, not as big as it was. But Von Sonnen has come in. So now the question is, when do the leaders blink? Hopefully a caution doesn't come out now. That would really mess things up. Neri still leading. Then it's Andrew Draco to the inside. Draco's coming in. So is Isabel Espinoza. So a lot of the heavy hitters now coming in the pit lane. This lead pack definitely shrinking more and more. But enough people are in this lead pack where it's still a bit advantageous to stay out. There's Von Sonnen out. He's a lap down. You see how close it is to making it out without losing a lap. Von Sonnen was really on his own. Coming in the pit lane, it looks like Neri's going to go for it now. Yes, leader's coming in. Most of the field is coming in. Except for Lecty, Thomas Rogers. Everyone else has led a lap. They're hoping for a yellow. Andrew Draco stays to the bottom, knowing that Lecty is the race leader. Smart move by the champion. 2017 world champion, excuse me. And then you have Thomas Rogers. So we're assuming that they're going to come in. Lecty's taking that line. She is coming in. And look at that massive cars exiting pit lane. But a massive pack that you want to be in. Neri with an amazing pit stop. He's going to assumingly hold the lead here. There's Angie Draco, Sakura Ishibashi with another good stop. Von Sonnen looking good. There we go. Most of the pit stops have been cycled through. Kenosha's in pit lane, so they're not going to have to deal with the damaged car. So the field has spread out a little bit. There's a massive group of cars just on the fringe of the top 10. A good stop by Lecty and Rogers will keep them in contention here. So they're going to let these first leaders by, and they will stay in line with the group. Job well done. But it's Brad Neri with the best pit stop of the bunch because he's still holding on to the lead. At least he will hold on to the lead when they get back around out of turn 3. Presumptive race leader, now official race leader. Now the job really begins. First round of green flag pit stops out of the way. Now for those that lost time, how do you make it back up? Andrew Drake are going to try to retake the lead here. Mano a mano. Didn't have the run. Couldn't make it happen. Had to slot back inside. So adjustments have been made under green flag conditions. Neri's going to keep on to the lead, and Sakura Ishibashi is going to try to challenge for second. Von Sonnen sitting in 5th. A lot of pace from that 76 car so far today. An amazing pit stop as well keeps them in the top 5, really safe. Some interesting names in this top 5. Neri, Draco, Ishibashi, Espinoza, and Von Sonnen. Ishibashi battling on the inside. She's going to take second away. She's going to get a run, trying to make a run to the lead. Not going to get enough momentum forward. They're coming up on Cody Blackman, who is not a damaged car. He's just off pace. But they're coming up on him. Ishibashi's going to take the lead here. So they should be able to manage it out. Von Sonnen is trying to take second away now. Pocono is the gift that keeps on giving right now. Von Sonnen's battling. So is Ishibashi. Hobson's got back up. So is Lecty. The gang's coming back together. So is Leroux. Leroux's not far off as well. This group of 5 is again a group of 8. And you see how far back it is from Leroux to Jace Clark leading that second group. Ishibashi, the race leader. Then it's Von Sonnen. Mixing it up with veterans here. His second ever race, he's mixing it up with Andrew Draco, with Isabel Espinoza, and with Sakura Ishibashi right now. Von Sonnen with a very unassailable lead right now. Obviously, draft will bring everyone back up, but that is a very stout lead right now. Von Sonnen making his case. No idea where Kune Fushida stands at the moment. Right now, they're standing really good at Pocono. Group has started to come together. It was Kenosha that gave him the space. Separated the group just enough. It's going to be... looks like Von Sonnen holds on to it. Yep, by a fraction. We are rapidly approaching halfway. Race speed has climbed all the way back up to 190 miles an hour. If you look at the fastest lap, Steffi Porticelli has it at 42.1. I believe that's faster than qualifying. A very fast lap. You see what draft does. 3 wide. 2 Swiss drivers, Lechty and Leroux. Battling to try to get around Patrick Marcelli. Von Sonnen's going to end up worse for wear out of this one. But Von Sonnen's going to try to move to the inside. He's playing it calm. Knowing that there's space. There he goes. Stays in front of Espinosa and Ishibashi. Ishibashi stayed up in the high lane. Now she moves to get by. Lap cars. Lap cars doing an absolutely fantastic job. See. To look, it is Lechty leading. And I can tell you up here in the press box that the temperature is rising. It was 85 degrees when the race started. It's up probably 2 or 3 degrees now. It is getting warm, that is for sure. I think about 85 degrees on track, just the air temperature. Track temp at 131 degrees. In the cockpit, you'd imagine that it wouldn't be too hot, seeing as how it's an open cockpit car, but inside that cockpit with the legs and especially hunkered in to a seat, temperatures in an Indy car can approach 140, 145 degrees. It is not easy on a driver. Thankfully, they have a mechanized water bottle that allows them to drink during the race. All they have to do is press a button on the wheel. Lechty getting past Glover, who was thrown off the lead draft early. He's going to go a lap down officially now for the first time. Then it is Hofson, Draco, and Von Sonnen. Now, Draco and Von Sonnen, they have similar color cars. Just Von Sonnen has a bit more red. See the iconic Castrol. Whereas Draco is sitting with the Adidas side pods. Hofson sailed away with the lead there, using Hazel DeCass as a bit of a pick for draft. 3 wide, however, going to be for second place. Lechty avoided that. Now it's only going to be 2 wide as she battles with Anastasius von Sonnen. Hofston moves to the bottom of the cast staying high. Von Sonnen will take second as a result. But once again, lap car is doing an amazing job. The work rate that lap cars are doing compared to what it was a few races to go, I'll think back to Homestead. Glover staying high, the cast staying high. Right now, everything is calm and peaceful, but as you can see, it's a massive train. Everyone's back together again. Up front, Von Sonnen's showing again how feisty he is. Obviously, you got to feel gutted for Lacasse. Started 7th. Had one of the most competitive cars in contact with Patrick Marcelli. Puts her now 4 laps down on the race leaders. And we're certain that there's got to be some sort of damage because she's not able to hold pace with the leaders at all right now. So she's hoping that something critically wrong happens to the race field. She's praying for a caution. Simona Leroux holding onto the lead. Isabel Espinosa with an amazing drive out of turn 3, though. It's going to be a drag race to the line that time. Espinosa takes it. See, there's Diego Jaramillo, so Jaramillo and Von Sonnen nose to tail behind Ishibashi. Then it's Brad Neri back up in the top 8. See, Cody Blackman, he's a lap down, but he's staying with the leaders. Hoping that if something happens with the leaders, he can get his lap back. So not everyone in this group right now is legitimately battling for position. Blackman's biggest concern is the yellow and blue car further back. That is BK Glover. But it's Jaramillo and Von Sonnen, 1-2, with Brad Neri 3rd. We are 8 laps away from halfway. When this race was scheduled, we were expecting 3.5 hours. This race is going to be done in under 2.5 at this rate that we're going right now. 192.8 miles an hour is the average race speed. For comparison, the fastest ever race speed recorded in Champ Car racing is 205 miles an hour. That was the 2017 Indianapolis 500-mile race, won by Kinemisa Kinoshita. Kenosha was wishing it probably was that race right now. She's sitting 3 laps down and massively off pace, just hoping for a miracle. And Neri's picking off drivers one by one. So is Lucian Lachapelle, who came out of nowhere. Lachapelle was down at one point. He was down in 33rd position. And now he's back up at the top 2. That is impressive. So it's Neri, Lachapelle, Jaramillo, and then Ishibashi. Ishibashi to the inside will try to take 3rd away. Siri Lundqvist is back up in the top 5. She didn't spend too long out of it. Ronald Walker has shown himself to be a competitor. His only podium so far in his career has come at Indianapolis in 2018. So he definitely knows how to get around the super speedways. His teammate, not so fortunate, but he's carried himself pretty well. He's also someone who's been in last place at some point in this race. So it's two rookies leading. It's Neri and LaChapelle. These two are battling in points. They are battling on the racetrack. They joined about a race apart. LaChapelle's first race was Lausitz. Neri's first race was Toronto. Siri Lundquist talked about her return to Pocono after 5 years away. She's sitting second. Figured it would not take her long to figure this stuff out. She is at home. It is 3 wide for fourth place. That is Clark, Ishibashi, and LaChapelle. LaChapelle just stuck on the outside. Nothing he can do. He'll fall back in line here in turn 3. Jace Clark, however, sails up to third place, trying to get second place. He will slide in front of Andrew Draco to take third. Kenosha coming up now to go 4 laps down. Neri takes care of that with an ease, and everyone's just going to follow through. LaChapelle still stuck on the outside. He's going to need to wait for a break in the line. But fortunately, lap traffic's making it predictable. The lead lap cars are being patient with them. Horizon Corporation essentially scolded the drivers after the races at Homestead, Indianapolis. And we're seeing the results of that here. Extra productive from the whole field today. Really just managing race awareness. But it's Siri Lundquist leading. Then it's Sakura Ishibashi in second. It's an Alpine 1-2. Jaramillo is trying to break that up in the 16 car you see sitting in third position. Then it's Andrew Draco. Then it's a battle between Koivanemi and Parker. Ishibashi makes a very abrupt move to the inside for turn 1. But she makes it work. To the point, Ishibashi. Ishibashi's race win came at St. Petersburg several months ago. A return to victory lane would be really sweet for her. But there's a lot of hungry people in this pack. Jaramillo with something to prove. Draco trying to extend his championship lead. Brad Neri wants the first win. Wants to prove that he belongs in Swift Autosport. We have no idea where he goes. To everyone just tuning in, this is the halfway lap. End of this lap marks the end of the first half of this race. Right now, it's Diego Jaramillo leading. The veteran from Guadalajara, Spain. Out front. Draco doesn't look close enough to make a move. It's going to be Brad Neri going to try to make a move on Draco instead. Can he make 2 for 1 happen? No, he cannot. Close. It looks like someone's in the pit lane now. We'll look at that afterwards. Looks like that is Cameron Jackson in pit lane. See, we're looking through the field. It is a lot of players pulling contention over halfway in. Jaramillo's led several laps. Neri's led several laps. Jace Clark's trying to make something happen here. He'll take the lead for Black Rose Racing. Then Siri Lundquist, another one that's led several laps. No clear leader as far as most laps led so far halfway in. And there is no trends right now saying anything that we're going to find out. Trends, throw them out. We were used to a calm Pocono race back from back before 2018. It was pretty simple. It was pretty concise. Now it's been an absolute brawl from the drop of the green flag. As you can see, there's 24 cars on the lead lap. Asher Crane and Ray Taylor about to go one lap down. See Cameron Jackson back out on the racetrack. He's about to go a lap down here. Cameron Jackson went a lap down because of a tire issue. Unfortunately, it's put him out of contention for this one so far, unless something happens. Jace Clark leads, then it's Brad Neri. Brad Neri makes a peek into turn 2, and we'll send it. A lot to prove between these two. Clark and Neri both not confirmed for 2021. Cameron Jackson's got a home. Where does Von Sonnen sit in this mix? Von Sonnen's just taken second away. Last pit stop cycle was on lap 70. So we've got quite a few laps to go before the pit cycle begins. It's going to be about 40 lap pit cycle. We're about 6-7 laps away. But the track temperature is picking up. Tires are going to blister a bit more significantly now, similar to what we saw in practice. So that could change the pit window. But right now it's Von Sonnen looking to the inside, going into turn 3 to regain the lead. Neri tried to hold it, but Von Sonnen's one of the best cars at holding that outside line. If it comes down later in the race and Von Sonnen needs to do something, it can happen. You see Ray Taylor's out of this race. Engine failure for another Mercedes engine. Mercedes having reliability issues, it looks like this time around, however, making it 250 miles. No small feat. Asher Crane now the last car on the lead lap. Again, she's half a lap down. A caution would pull her back into this. This lead group we see right now is 17 cars deep. Then you have Thomas Rogers, Tyler Parker, Keisha Fox, Steffi Porter Kelly, Gerard Perth off the pack in their own. Von Sonnen led that lap. Clark's going to take it away here. Jaramillo in the black and white GoPro car for Cat Double Racing. Up to third, then it's Rachel Koivanemi. Sitting in fourth, Brad Neri is moving to the inside in that yellow, black, and white. And it's 3 wide outside the top 5 between Lundqvist, Espinosa, and Leroux. Lundqvist getting very comfortable. Making a very cheeky move. And she's going to gain several positions out of it, up to 4th. Von Sonnen's going to take it back, though. Jaramillo back on the charge. A lot of faces we weren't expecting to see up front today are leading most of this race. Von Sonnen, Jaramillo, Neri, Lundqvist, Clark, Koivanemi, Leroux. We were expecting to see Christina Espinosa, Isabel Espinosa. We were expecting to see Andrew Draco. They've led just a fraction of this race. A lot of the underdogs brought their A game so far. And it looks really good. Jaramillo stays in the lead. Von Sonnen moves to second, and now everyone's starting to shuffle behind. That is Ishibashi moving to the outside, and Kaylee Zappa moving from wall to middle lane. And now it's 3 wide as Cameron Jackson, who is on pace. He had a tire failure that put him down a lap. Now he's 2. So he's off sequence. But he's on pace. He's not a damaged car. So he's going to be able to hang with these guys and try to get something out of it. That means that there are 3 Cat Double Racing cars in this group. Cameron Jackson with the fresher tires. These fresher tires, although they don't mean a significant amount, they mean enough to make this happen. And Koivanemi's lost an engine. Another Mercedes engine is gone. And she gets it out of the way. Great job avoiding that. Koivanami's day is done. Unfortunately. It was looking so well. And now it's all gone for Richard Koivanami, who's trying to pursue another podium or possibly even a race win. It's all for naught now. And to remind everyone that's watching at home, the top three right now are all Honda engines. If you're a Mercedes engine car, or if you're a fan of someone who's in a Mercedes-powered car, start sweating. Jaramillo and Von Sonnen now battling nose to tail. So is Clark and Neri. J.S. Clark, I don't think I've said J.S. Clark's name this much since Brno, when he had that dominating performance, ended up winning the race, leading, I think, 3/4 of the race. The job well done then. He's within shot to try to make it happen again here, not by any dominating stretch, but timing. Timing is becoming crucial. Von Sonnen back on point. Looks like Kenosha up ahead. They're going to try to navigate her once again. Been problem-free so far with lap traffic. We've had one yellow so far out of 111 laps. Jaramillo's going to try to take the lead back. There's not going to be much of a challenge here. Von Sonnen looks really good on the top lane. The best able to do it. He's actually going to out-drag Jaramillo out of turn 3 to keep hold of the lead. No one has been able to do that quite like Von Sonnen. So whatever that team has done, the Kearney Fushida Drive Force has done a fantastic job setting this car up to work outside of the racing line. It has been a great job. An impressive teamwork. Making sure that that car is able to run wherever it needs to be. It's a very stable car. That has to be a bit more downforce than what most people are running. But if it's a lot more stable in the marbles, could prove very beneficial, especially being able to out-drag on old tires. No traffic yet, so it looks like we're going just over 40 laps here. Jaramillo's going to look to the inside here. Kenosha's just going to have to sit through it. But Jaramillo will be able to move to the inside here, and Kenosha does move the high line, so Jaramillo moves to the outside. Interesting maneuver there, but that gives Von Sonnen the lead back. I'm not sure, that may not have been clear. Von Sonnen may have already had a nose there. We're not exactly going to know that, but for whatever reason, Jaramillo could not move to the inside of Kenosha, and now he's going to drop several positions. He finally gets by here, as it goes almost 4 wide trying to get past Kenosha. People are getting a bit more urgent now that pit stops are coming. So there is a bit of importance to this. Two of the best cars that had pit stops last cycle are sitting in the top 2. However, Suri Lundqvist making the most of it happen, trying to get up to second, trying to get to the race lead. Looks like that might be Patrick Marcelli. Indeed, it is Patrick Marcelli sitting next on line to get lapped. LaChapelle trying to make a move. So Von Sonnen keeps a hold of the lead. We're on lap 115 now out of 200. Race pace 196 miles an hour. That is a blistering race pace. We'll have to look to see what the speed trap looks like going into turn 2. Von Sonnen's got to make a move to the inside. Lundqvist led him. That is important. Lundqvist let him happen. Very courteous from the Swedish driver. Very veteran maneuver by the Swedish driver to make sure that no clog-ups happen there. LaChapelle's going to try to take advantage of it, though. Lundqvist again being nice. Quite a chop there, and Lundqvist decided to reverse it. So LaChapelle's going to move up the second here. We talked about how Mercedes have had several engines explode. Several engines have gone out. They've lost 2, and then they lost 1 more due to an accident under caution. That said, there's still, I believe, 12 Mercedes-powered cars in the race. Relatively low frequency. However, we know Mercedes have reliability issues, more so than Alpine and Honda. As you see Von Sonnen holding on to that lead for dear life. Hofsson's going to make a move, though. Massive run out of turn 1 for Hofsson. A bit refreshing saying names I'm not used to saying very much. Von Sonnen's coming in. Pit cycle has begun. And Lundqvist bombs it into pit lane, trying to overtake Von Sonnen in pit lane. Glover's and yourself came in the pit lane a little bit early to try to beat all the traffic. So a very small group coming in. It's Draco, Espinoza, Lundqvist, and Von Sonnen. Then you have LaChapelle now leading the group. Those that are watching, you're watching the second round of green flag pit stops all race long and happening now. And it will take several laps for this to happen. Just small groups will come in. And then it'll be one giant group that comes in last. Lundqvist stays on the bottom exiting pit lane. But she did have the best pit stop of everyone that came in that first time. That will be important. It's LaChapelle, Neri, Hofsson, Espinoza. Simona LaRose still hanging on, so is Diego Jaramillo. Who's coming in this lap? Both the top 2. That leaves Christine Espinoza on the lead. Then you have Esther Hofsson, Diego Jaramillo, Sakura Ishibashi, Jace Clark, Natalia Kurachenko, Nicole Leckie, Cameron Jackson, who's off sequence and he's a lap down. Going to be an interesting sort out after these cycles are done. More people coming in, and it's another group of 4. So it leaves this group of 3 right now in the race lead. It is Christina Espinoza, Diego Jaramillo, and Nicole Leckie. As everyone tries to file their way out of the pit lane. It'll be interesting to see where these 3 cycle out. They are the last ones to pit, it looks like. They are coming in this time. Jaramillo is not. Jaramillo winging it an extra lap. He's got a teammate to help him. Cameron Jackson's going to get in front to try to tow him. But you see the difference between 42 lap old tires and fresh tires. And that is a very narrow gap. That's a trouble. That is trouble for Jaramillo. Jaramillo's off the surface. Something has happened. There is no power. There's no sound coming from that car. They're going to try to make it back, but there is nothing coming out of that 16 car. But because they held up, There is Nicole Leckie and Christina Espinosa. They're going to cycle out right in front of this group. They're not going to take the lead. I think Hobson's going to hold on to it. No, Leckie's going to... Leckie, that's an interesting decision, but she makes it stick. Hobson's still going to take the lead anyway, coming out of turn 2. Jaramillo's trying to make it to pit lane. He is at a crawl. We would be surprised if we don't see something happen here. He's got to pull off. He's lost a lap. See, Kenosha's in. Jaramillo's made it to pit lane, so he's in safety. But now here we go. It's a bit baffling if you ran out of fuel. That is a very interesting decision that was made. You see this massive group of cars that are together, Hobson leading it. A lot of names of people that are not anymore involved, but the likes of Von Sonnen still in it. LaRoe, Hobson. Still a lot of people in it trying to possibly break through and get their first win, either of the year or in their Champ Car careers. And some trying to get back to victory lane after being out of it for so long. "15 cars in this main group. 22 cars on the lead lap. Cameron Jackson off sequence, but he's on the lead lap. If the yellow happens now, he is back in it. Then it is... There's 28 cars still running. Canosta's the last of the bunch. She's 6 laps down. Marcelli's 4 laps down. Hazel Lacasse is 3 down. Then you have Cody Blackman, Diego Jaramillo, who's 1 lap down, and DK Glover, who's 1 lap down. And we know with the races being double file, Lacasse is in the pit, coming out of pit lane now. So we know that Jaramillo has the pace, if it comes down to it, that he's going to race to get his lap back. It was interesting they left him out for that long and risk running out of fuel. But he's still on the lead lap. That's the important thing right now. Cameron Jackson's going to go a lap down on older tires. He's halfway through his current cycle. So he's got about 2 more stops. The rest of the field, I believe, can make it all 1 more stop. Unless we get a caution. Then everything unfolds. But Cameron Jackson's going to have to now hope that they stay green for at least another full green flag stop. Because otherwise he'll be a lap down and that won't help him. Side by side for the lead is Ishibashi, but Espinosa is going to take control here. Christina Espinosa on point with Andrew Draco behind her. Hazel Lacasse now up next on the chopping block to be lapped. Brad Neri sitting in 3rd, Hobson sitting in 4th. It's been an absolute breakneck pace, still 195.7 mile an hour average race speed. We are getting super close to matching the fastest 500-mile race in Champ Car history. This next time around, we'll take a look at the speed. We'll pull the bar down. 200 out of turn number 3. 210. 214, 215. Yeah, there we go. And they are flat-footed. 210 again out of turn two, out of turn 1. Now this is the fastest part of the track. 215, almost 216. Probably it was 216 in the draft. So I have to find somebody that is in the draft. We'll look at Clark. 216, 217 before dropping down to make turn 3. Definitely some high speeds there. Again, Cameron Jackson hanging on with this group. He had a tire that was going flat, which put him off sequence to begin with. So he didn't have any mechanical damage. But just now he's off sequence. So you're going to see him hang around for a little bit. 215, 216, and see in draft is going to be 216, 217 briefly. But these cars are super fast up until turn 3, and even then with the downforce, all the ground effects under the cars give them a lot of mechanical grip. Hazel Lacasse making it easy to get around. As disappointing as it is for Lacasse having won Toronto, hoping that her second 500-mile race wouldn't end the same way as Indianapolis did. Fortunately, it has not been her day. The issues with Patrick Marcelli really putting things out of her hands. Now we're looking at the top 3 here. Ishibashi, Clark, and Neri. Clark with Mercedes Power, Ishibashi with Alpine, Neri with Honda. So all 3 manufacturers sitting in this top 3 right now. Clark will make a move for the lead out of turn 3. The tire Kurochenko is back up to the running. Been a while since we talked about her name. There's Astrid Crane. Again, not damaged or off pace, just lost the draft and unfortunately has not been able to get it back. Astrid Crane looked super competitive early on in this race until lap traffic became an issue. Unfortunately for Crane, there's not been a reprieve in the action. Simona Leroux still in it as well. Then there's Andrew Draco. Bonsonen has been in it almost the entire race. Started 24th. So he's doing an absolutely fantastic job. Right now it is Jace Clark in control. Both of the Black Rose Racing cars have looked really good today. There's a lot of cars that have looked phenomenal. Both highlight racing cars up until Koivu-Niemi's engine failure looked phenomenal. They still do with Leroux sitting out here. Koivu-Niemi started 32nd on the grid, next to last, was last for a period of time, led laps. So not all has been lost for some of these teams. Competition, they're in an awkward situation as it stands. They've got Gerard Perth still running. Mildred Moon out of it at a early crash. Ray Taylor with an engine failure. So Perth still in it. Perth just not with the main group right now. Astrid Crane about to join the lap down party. Talking about Jace Clark, he started 21st. Simona Leroux started all the way down in 13th. Andrew Draco started 14th. Kurochenko, obviously, we know is the pole sitter. Cameron Jackson not having the best run of it. He started 8th, and he's unfortunately now one lap down. So is Astrid Crane. Now, Astrid Crane should be able to hold on with this group, the same with Jackson, so they will be fighting with each other for position. The thing about Brad Neri, who's led a decent chunk of this race, started all the way back in 30th position. And he's still in this main group. He's been shuffled back a little bit, but he's still in this main group. See Blackbeard's Racing teammates swapping positions here. Von Sonnen looking to take the lead back. However, it looks like Kurachenko's going to... Again, Von Sonnen using the outside line to his advantage. Kurachenko can't pull alongside. Von Sonnen is the only driver right now that can do that. It is an absolute... It's a very intriguing setup decision, but it's one that is paying dividends for that team right now. On top of Von Sonnen, who started 24th. Nicole Lechty started down in 17th position. Talk about Siri Lundqvist, who had not a great qualifying session, started 19th in the race. Sitting up in the top 5 now. Christina Espinoza started 5th. She's been around the top 10 most of it, as they're going 3 wide through turn 3. That is Lechty, Lundqvist, and Christina Espinoza. Esther Hofson. We talked about her having her worst ever starting position, starting 27th in this race. She's been in the top 10 almost all race long. Lucien Latchbell started 12th. Kelly Zappa had a very abysmal qualifying as well. She started all the way down in 26th position. And she's been doing well. Brad Neri sitting at the very tail end of this long line. He's in 11th right now. But he's comfortable. And then you have Asher Grant, who may end up actually being off pace. She was not able to hold on to the group at all. So that may have cost Ishibashi and Isabel Espinoza. They have lost a little bit of time. They might be out of it. Jace Clark is in. So Jace Clark's in early. There's an issue on the 7 car. Everyone trying to get past Hazel Lacasse now. You see Cody Blackman is a lap down. Stephanie Porter Kelly, who's been off sequence with everyone else. Ronald Walker, Keisha Fox, who led a lot of the early portion of this race before the first caution. And then Gerard Perth, we talked about the last car running for LM competition. And you see Tyler Parker, who's off pace. Thomas Rogers thrown off sequence. Jaramillo 1 lap down, but he's got one of the fastest cars in the field. Clark had some sort of issue, but it's Von Sonnen that leads. 19 cars on the lead lap. Next on the chopping block is still over half a lap away. That is Thomas Rogers. Some massive work being done here by some underdog names. Von Sonnen leading the way. It's Lundqvist in second right now. Would not be surprised at this point if Von Sonnen ends up with the most laps led. Those 2 bonus points, although might not be important to him, will be absolutely important to... I'm saying this backwards. It may not be important in the giant scheme of things, but the team and to Von Sonnen, it may be a big deal. There you go. There's the English. Lundqvist biding her time. She's going to look to the inside out of turn 2 here. She doesn't want to jump too soon, knowing that there's lap traffic ahead. So she is thinking forward here. The reason that Lundqvist was selected to go to Renault to compete in F1. However, Kurachenko now has a bit of a jump on the inside line. The draft keeps Lundqvist safe in second. Lundqvist biding her time. Now she's going to make a move here. Get close enough to the lap traffic to pin him in. It's a maneuver that's worked before. However, Lundqvist does not have quite the pace. And everyone's accordioning here. So it'll stay with Von Sonnen pretty comfortably. Glover stays out of the way. He moves to the outside line. Very smart decision. Glover using that veteran mind to make it a little less stressful for everyone up on the spotter stand. Cameron Jackson, however, trying to race to get his lap back. Absolutely got a right to. Really, he's doing a smart job of staying right next to the leaders. So if they come across somebody that could be for position, you think about Thomas Rogers and Astrid Crane. He's there to jump and pounce on this position. So it's a very smart move by Cameron Jackson just to hang in there with the race leaders. As you see Siri Lundqvist take the race lead out of turn 3. Lundqvist putting her elbows out just a little bit. Glover now back with this main pack. Trying to hold on for a little bit. Glover's not quite on the best rocket ship in the bunch. The team has not had the balance quite right the way he needs it to be. This is his first race back, so I don't think expectations were really high. But it didn't help very much. Cameron Jackson will unlap himself temporarily here. His pit stop is coming soon, so he's making the most of it happen. Von Sonen's going to use the opening to try to retake the lead. Close, but he's going to have a little bit more space to try to make it happen here. He's under attack by Cristina Espinoza. That outside line looking really good. He has to go back in and slot in, but now he's leaving himself open to LaChapelle and Hofson. We've entered the chess match portion of the Pepsi 500, but we're almost 3/4 of the way through this race. To everyone that is watching at home, thank you for joining us. Cameron Jackson comes into the pit lane now as the field approaches Kinomitsu Kinoshita. 140 laps have been completed. We are on lap 146 out of 200. Don't mind the voice crack. It's Siri Lundqvist leading, then it's Anastasius von Sonen, Lucian LaChapelle, and Esther Hobson. That's the top 4. Cristina Espinoza is 5th, and Kaylee Zappa will be 6th position. We're looking at Anastasius von Sonen, that's center of your screen, the orange, black, and red car with the yellow roll bar indicating a Champ Car rookie. Von Sonen was robbed of a first Indianapolis 500, didn't really get a moment. However, he has redeemed it and then some. It is rookies in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Cameron Jackson back on track. He is now 2 laps down. Lundqvist in charge. It is Alpine, Honda, and Mercedes. 1, 2, 3. Championship right now, as it stands, opens up a little bit more in Draco's favor. Porter Kelly has not been able to get back into this lead group to try to battle some of those points back. It's 30 points entering this race. It's going to be over 50 by the time we're done if this ends as it stands. Draco putting in another monster 2017 performance as far as this season goes. Only 1 race win so far this season, and that was at Lausitz. But so far, doing a great job of just being Mr. Consistent. You see Von Sonen being passed, stuck on the outside lane, the inside lane right now having a bit of a resurgence as the field tries to get past Patrick Marcelli. Siri Lundqvist using Marcelli as a bit of a guard, not giving any draft to LaChapelle. LaChapelle will get by on his own. Smart move from the super Swede of Lundqvist. We've not had a Swedish driver or a French driver win a race. Well, the French driver we had win in Indianapolis, but beyond Devereaux winning Indianapolis, it's been quite a few years since we've seen a Swedish or a French driver win, but right now they're duking it out for the race lead as we approach lap 150. Siri Lundqvist trying to get back to victory lane. Lucian Lachapelle trying to show what he's worth to the Striker Motorsports team. One of the drivers up in the air for 2021. Same with Esther Hoffer. Could be a job well done. Anastasius von Sonnen will try to take third away from Suri Lundqvist. Brad Neri, we saw him spend most of his time on the cusp of being in the top 10, but now he's making the charge. He's got a long run car. And he's now up in the top 5. So the battle resumes. It's been non-stop. Barring one yellow, 197.9 is the average race speed. That's going to continue to climb. We've got one more major pit stop cycle coming. And then beyond that, it's a run to finish. Pit stops for the leaders are coming about 11, 12 laps. Once they enter that window, they will be able to pit and be good to the finish. It's Von Sonnen and Neri side by side into turn 1. We are over 3/4 of the way through with this race. We were earmarked for 3 hours, and we're going to get done a lot quicker. Andrew Draco trying to make something happen. He's going to try to charge into the top 2. Side by side with Natalia Kurachenko. There has never been a Russian winner in Champ Car racing. Natalia Kurachenko wants to be the first. But she's got a lot to play for. Right now, it's Kaylee Zappa leading. Nicole Leckie sitting in the catbird seat, trying to take second away from Andrew Draco. Former teammates when Leckie debuted in Champ Car in 2017. You could say a lot of Leckie's beginning of her learning experience here in Champ Car was from Draco. A monster Black Rose Racing team that also included Alan Herrera. That 2017 Black Rose Racing team, we've not seen repeated. That was a dynasty year for that team. Leckie's not been to victory lane since that year, 2017 Watkins Glen. But she has just as good of a shot as anybody right now. Kaylee Zappa's not been to victory lane since 2018. Hobson's never been to victory lane. This is her first season. Outside of 3 top 10 finishes, she's not had a sniff of the race win. But she has been a consistent threat all race long. As we imagined, Cat Devil racing cars were going to be a factor. Kaylee Zappa, Cameron Jackson, Diego Jaramillo for the most part was until he ran out of fuel. And Cat Devil Racing also works in alliance with Eastern Atlantic, so we weren't surprised to see Esther Hofson doing so well. However, the likes of Brad Neri and Anastasius von Sonnen have showed us that this series is genuinely at its most competitive state. And both are in this group right now. Anastasius von Sonnen's dropped back a little bit, but he's still in the pack. Brad Neri is just on the cusp of the top 10. He's sitting back in 9th position. As sails it into turn 3 goes Leckie. Zappa will lose 2 spots. And Leckie pulls away a pretty hefty lead. And you see a second group of cars. It is 2 legitimate packs. We were expecting a bit of a strategy fest. It was supposed to be a bit of a chess game. It is not. We have blown away the lead change record. It has been absolutely astonishing watching. But it's all been clean. Siri Lundqvist making a move for second. And that blue and orange. Lechty, Lundqvist, Kurachenko, Hofson, top 4. And that's as they're running, not as the leaderboard. Kaylee Zappa 5th. And then Simona Leroux back up to 6th. Lundqvist making a move to the inside. Lundqvist to the point. These battles do not stop. A pit window to make it to the end of the race opens in 2 laps. They will all make it from here. And there's an engine failure. That is Kaylee Zappa. Zappa's engine goes. The first Honda for an engine's failure. And she'll stay high. Everyone gets by. But Zappa's race is over. At the 400-mile mark, Kaylee Zappa is no longer in competition here. And she is trying to coast it back, trying to make it back to pit lane. She's going to stay off the track. A very smart decision. She'll keep it off the racing track. Smart move to kind of pull it through the grass as he tries to make it back to pit lane. Now we're looking back at the lead. It's Isabel Espinosa and Natalia Kurachenko. Kurachenko denied her first win by an Espinosa. That was Christine back in Texas. Will she be denied here? Still have 1 cycle to go, but it's within 100 miles of determining who's winning the second leg of the Triple Crown. A lot of players still in question. It's 3 wide for the race lead. And that is really close, almost contact between Kurachenko and Espinosa. There's the first one to blink, Andrew Draco. But he might have been the only one to blink. Watch out for that 36 and the 48. The turmoil going on in the Scuderia Agia camp. Isabel, we know, leaving the team. The team that has been family run for so many years, so many decades. Power struggle within that team. Surely she's not going to let her Aunt Christine take advantage of it. Lundqvist in this time. They're peeling off slowly but surely. It is Ishibashi leading, then it's Isabel Espinosa, then Christine Espinosa. The 21-year-old Isabel Espinosa, 2-time race winner. She won in Motegi, and then she won in Belle Isle. Christina Espinosa won in Texas. Kurachenko yet to win. Ishibashi won St. Pete. You can't ignore Nicole Lechty. She has not won since Watkins Glen 2017, as we mentioned earlier. Isabel blinks. She comes in. But a lot of drivers carrying those cars as far as they can. Lundqvist exits pit lane. Not the fastest stop for her. But if everyone keeps coming in one at a time, she's not going to have to worry about it because she'll find somebody to tango with. Looking at second place, Christina Espinosa, center of your screen. When does she blink? When does Ishibashi blink? When does Kurachenko blink? We were expecting Mercedes to have fuel issues. We had a Honda run out of fuel. We had Jaramillo run out of fuel, trying to extend the fuel mileage too far. Most of the leaders this time did not come in. Nobody blinked. Kurachenko trying to take second away. We are under 40 laps to go here in Pocono. A couple more for the blink. Neri, Hofson, Ishibashi all come in. Side by side, it is Kurachenko that takes the lap away. 3 cars on the lead lap in this frame. Cameron Jackson waiting for them to pit so he can try to get his laps back. Jackson has pace. He just thrown off by a blown tire. But right now is these 3 cars leading the group. It looks like they're coming in. Lechty is not. Lechty stays out because she stays out with drafting help. Lechty leads. 199 miles an hour is the average race speed. She's going to go past Neri here. Neri gets blown by, and there goes Ishibashi. Now a lap down. Caution happens now. It is game, set, match in favor of Nicole Lechty. However, we're not expecting that. Everyone's pretty spread out at the moment. She's going to go to the inside here, knowing that she's probably going to pit this time around. She's not hugging the wall. She's hugging that yellow line. She will be coming in this time, so now it's going to be a race for the race lead. The gauntlet's been laid. That's what the top 5 looks like provisionally. Sakura Ishibashi holds on to the provisional lead. We'll have to wait to see how it cycles out officially. Looks like the couple might have come out ahead of her. I'll have to look and see. That is Kurachenko and Espinosa. So it is all to play for now. Brad Neri 4th. You have Draco, Lundqvist, Von Sonen, and Isabel Espinosa. Then you have LaChapelle and Hofson, who are just a little off of the draft of this main lead group. It's a group of 8. They're going to be just a little off, I think. Kenosha's in the pit lane. Lechty comes out of pit lane, so she's in this group as well. It is game on. 9 cars going to be battling it out for the race win here in Pocono. 32 laps to go coming up. It's a group of 5, it's a line of 4. It's a group of 6 and a line of 4. And Lundqvist will be the anchor to bring the two together. Gotta give massive commendations to Von Sonen and Neri for hanging it out. 2 rookies battling their first time in Pocono. For Neri, this is his first big experience at Pocono. He raced at Texas for a handful of laps. He also didn't get much of a chance to race there. Von Sonen experienced Indy, so he had a little bit more experience that he could translate over. See, Hofson and LaChapelle did get on. Looks like Leroux might just be a little bit out of it. We're not sure yet. And there's still 31 laps for lap traffic to kind of have their say. For those that have tuned in, you're watching the Pepsi 500 Race 12 of the Champ Car World Series season for 2020. And it has been action-packed from the get-go. Cameron Jackson leads this group. He's battling to stay on the lead lap here. He's the last car on the lead lap, but more importantly, he's contending to make sure that if the leaders do catch Tyler Parker or Thomas Rogers, that he is able to jump on those positions, because every point right now matters. But the gang's all together. Lundqvist brought them together. Took them a little bit, but they finally made it happen. And they have left Simona Leroux in the dust. A poor pit stop for Leroux. Puts her on the back foot just outside the top 10. That is 12th position she's stuck in right now, so she's going to eventually fade back to the secondary group. We're looking at the main group, however, right now. Under 30 to go. Right now it is Christina Espinosa leading. They've dispatched Cameron Jackson, removed him from the front of the field. So it's Christina Espinosa, Sakura Ishibashi, Natalia Kurachenko, and Siri Lundqvist. That's your top four. Brad Neri sitting in the frame as well. He could very well be a dark horse, so could Anastasius von Sonen. And we know that lap traffic is incoming. So it's Ishibashi now on point. And we can't say who's going to lead this race one way or another right now. We're working on getting past Hazel McCaff. "26 laps to go. It is Kurachenko leading, then it's Espinosa and Neri. Most lead changes prior to this race was 86 back in 2017. That was the season finale at Fontana in 2017. I believe we have surpassed that today. Looking at Christina Espinosa, she falls back on the outside line. It's Kurachenko, Neri. See Cameron Jackson not battling for position, just trying to stay right next to the leaders in case something happens. Andrew Draco currently sits in the third position. It's the Agia cars of Espinosa's. Isabel taking the point from Christine on the outside line. And it is a very tight window. A lot of moving back and forth from Isabel Espinosa. Von Sonen follows. Neri takes the lead. A lot of smaller teams in this top 10. Eastern Atlantic has not had a great season. They've had one podium, and that was at Phillip Island at the season opener. Another chaotic race. Swift Autosport, coming from the ashes, trying to rebuild itself in Champ Car. And then Kearney Fushida Drive Force, coming over from Japan to take part in their second ever Champ Car event. And what an amazing job they've done. It's Andrew Draco out on front, but how long can he hold it? He's got Isabel Espinosa breathing down his neck with a bunch of hungry drivers behind her. Coming to 22 laps to go. Lap cars coming up. Kenosha, Clark, Marcelli. Draco's going to have to check up. Kenosha was able to take the corner in time. Espinosa on the outside line. And it backfires. So Draco regains the lead. Clark stays on the outside this time. Makes it a bit easier. Can Von Sonnen get out from behind? Yes, he does, so he's going to be able to stay in it here. That was important. Smart move by Von Sonnen to be calm and be patient, but a lot of work to do now in about 20 laps to go. And now they got to do it again with Marcelli. "27 cars left running. Kenosha's 10 laps down. Marcelli's going 7 laps down now. The cast just went 6 laps down. Clark's 3 laps down. Draco got caught out. Neri on the point. Cameron Jackson trying to mix it around a little bit. This is the group that's coming up. Jaramillo's on this group, so is Thomas Rogers and Tyler Parker. And Neri's going to be able to lead this lap as well. Nicole Leckie moving for second. There has not been a pause in this action at all, and it's not going to stop now. So many different teams in this top 10 with a chance to win. One of the highest prize purses in the calendar, $500,000 is what the winner will receive. Only thing bigger than this is Indianapolis. Both Pocono and Fontana offer $500,000 to the race winners. More importantly, the driver that has the most points at the end of the Triple Crown will earn $1 million, and if someone wins all 3 of the races in the Triple Crown, that's a bonus $3 million. Nicole Leckie, wanting to make an impression. She did well at Indianapolis. She's doing well right now. Under 50 miles left in this race. Sakura Shibashi not out of the frame yet, neither is Suri Lundqvist. They carry the Alpine banner for 2 completely different teams. But Lundqvist has been in control of this race a fair amount as well. It's been Lundqvist, it's been Neri, it's been Espinoza, it's been Ishibashi, it's been Hofsson. Everyone's had a share. And everyone's played a part in making this one of the most entertaining races of the season, bar none. No controversies. No question marks. Straight up racing. 16 laps left. Who is going to bring it home? Neri has looked strong all throughout the race. Lundqvist has been able to pass like no other. So Lundqvist could time it. Hofsson's looked good. It's all about where you're at when the white flag drops. How desperate do you want to be? Hofsson takes second away. They're battling for second, but they're letting Neri hold on to the lead. There's no lap cars for them to deal with. We don't expect lap cars to be a fixture anymore. Should be very straightforward from here. Neri, Hofsson, and Lundqvist. Lundqvist defending from Christina Espinoza. Neri holding onto that lead like his life depends on it. Trying to keep Hofsson at bay. But Hofsson has the draft. She's in the momentum. She's going to probably make a move going into turn 2 here. She does not make a move. She's going to wait. She can't wait too long, though. Lundqvist is going to make a move. Hofsson moves now. Lundqvist will follow. And there's a new leader on the point, Esther Hofsson. "13 laps to go. Track temperature now is over 90 degrees. That's the air temperature. The track temperature is almost 135. In the cockpit, it probably feels like 150. But tunnel vision has to be extremely real right now for a lot of these drivers looking to win Pocono. Of the group that's in this line right now, only one driver's ever won at Pocono, and it's been Christina Espinoza. She's the only one with experience with experiencing victory. Dario Jaramillo won in 2017, but he's not in contention. Lundqvist to the move for the lead out of turn 3. Von Sonen's making a move as well, coming to 11 laps to go. These next 10 minutes are going to be exciting. Von Sonnen moves to the outside. Lundqvist now has to defend both lanes. She stays to the outside. Didn't want to chop off Awesome. Hofsson to the point. LaChapelle to second. And it's not going to stay that way for very long. 10 laps to go. Lundqvist making a move for second once again, trying to stay up front. Neri moves to the bottom. The lap cars going through turn 3. Don't believe they're going to be a factor in 10 laps. Coming to 9 to go, Hofson's going to stay in the lead here. It's side by side, Neri and LaChapelle. One of the most intense races we've seen all year long. This is Champ Car at its finest. Eight laps left in this one. The Pepsi 500 has not disappointed today. Hofson holding on to the lead. Drivers are getting a bit more defensive as the mid-pack of this little group try jockeying it out for positions. It's Neri and Hofson staying nose to tail. Kurachenko's battling for third with Christina Espinoza. Anastasius von Sonnen looking for a top 5 result, possibly, maybe even more. Nothing is certain, but Kurachenko with an amazing run out of turn 3. She's going to have an amazing run. Slots in behind Neri. Von Sonnen follows. But Kurachenko sits third now, trying to convert her pole position into a win for the first time. And you see how far away the lap cars are. We'll pan to them right now. They're coming out of turn 2. They're going into turn 2. This could get a little bit hairy. But, again, not expecting them to be a factor at the finish. Neri makes a move for the race lead now, coming to 6 to go. Hofson lost the lead that lap, but immediately tries to get it back. Pressure from Kurachenko. Kurachenko in the red, white, and blue Russian car. Hofson in the blue and white. Neri in the yellow, black, and white. That's a top 3. Von Sonnen in the red, green, and black. Sakura Ishibashi in the red and white Vodafone car. Hofson maintains the lead with 5 to go. $75,000 in attendance for the 500-mile race here in Pocono. Kurachenko to the point, trying to make a move. Kenosha slips through the cracks. Now we've got lap traffic. How courteous is Kenosha going to be? She's staying on the outside lane. She'll be consistent. She'll stay where she was. But it also slowed down Glover. So Glover may be a factor. So this will shuffle up the order. Kurachenko leads. Then it's Neri and Von Sonnen. 4 to go. Von Sonnen working for second. Von Sonnen's going to try to make a run for the lead. Kurachenko tries blocking both lanes. Von Sonnen will take second away. Neri's going to have to try to defend from Isabel Espinoza. Glover coming closer and closer to the lead battle. 3 laps to go. As I mentioned before, a Russian has never won in Champ Car. Neither has an Austrian. That's the top two. Kurichenko sits a little bit higher on the racing line. Von Sonnen follows. Getting a bit more defensive now. You see Clark now in the frame. So is Glover. Glover's a lot closer now. 2 to go. They're going to likely catch him. Likely going to catch him leading coming into the white flag. Neri's dropped out of the top 5. But it doesn't say much. Von Sonnen's making a move into turn 2. Von Sonnen's going to try to pin Kurichenko on the outside. Ishibashi's going to jump on it too. So now we have a lot going on. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here in Pocono. Von Sonnen and Ishibashi, it's side by side. Von Sonnen almost chopped off Ishibashi. Glover with the assist. But it's still side by side going into turn 2. LaChapelle out of nowhere. Ishibashi with assistance from BK Glover. It's going to be 3 wide through turn 2. LaChapelle's trying. But he's not close enough. Out of turn 3 for the final time. For the second time this season, Sakura Ishibashi wins at Pocono. What a run by LaChapelle and Anastasius Von Sonnen. Second ever Champ Car race podium. What a race. What a race. As clean as you'd like, but as smart as you'd like. Sakura Ishibashi wins her first 500-mile race. LaChapelle second, Von Sonnen third, Nicole Leckie fourth. Andrew Draco extends his championship lead in 5th position. Kurichenko tried super hard, and there's a crash. That is Andrew Draco that has hit the pit wall. Kurichenko ends up 6th after being on pole. Had a chance, just didn't time it correctly. Brad Neri sits 7th, his best ever finish in Champ Car. Nothing to complain about for Brad Neri, a very impressive drive. Christina Espinoza finishes 8th. Suri Lundqvist, with her best finish in Champ Car and her return, finishes 9th. Esther Hofson in 10th, a top 10 finish. Isabel Espinoza 11th. Gerard Perth 12th. Keisha Fox 13th. 14th is Stephanie Porter Kelly. 15th is Ronald Walker. 16th, Simona Leroux after losing the draft after that final round of pit stops. Then you have Tyler Parker in 17th. 18th is Thomas Rogers. They were the last ones on the lead lap. Close to being lapped. Astrid Crane finishes the first car 1 lap down in 19th. 20th is Cody Blackman. 21st is Diego Jaramillo. 22nd, Cameron Jackson. 23rd, and the massive assist in the win for Sakura Ishibashi, BK Glover on his return back from injury. 24th is Jace Clark. 25th is Hazel Lacasse. 26th is Patrick Marcelli, and the last car running, Kiyomitsu Kinoshita, 11 laps down. You look at the DNS, Kaylee Zappa with an engine failure, same with Rachel Koivanami and Ray Taylor. Then you have Mildred Moon, her return cut short, just 25 laps in an accident. Same with David Wessel after being second place last race out. And then Akira Sato started last, finished last after a very overzealous move. Put him and his teammate Kimmie Kenosha in the wall, as well as David Wessel, who we talked about just a minute earlier. But what a race. 1 yellow and a lot of action. A lot of action. But what a race. Almost 200 miles an hour for the average race speed. An absolutely phenomenal feat. And Sakura Shibashi comes away with her first ever 500-mile race win. Best race of the season, bar none. We don't stop there. Next race, Watkins Glen. This is probably one of the best parts of the season yet. From Pocono to Watkins Glen, 60 laps at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. We hope to see you guys there. But this has been the AT&T Champ Car World Series live from Pocono Raceway for the Pepsi 500. So until next time, we'll see you later.